Good morning. My name is Beth Gallick, and I'm the Executive Director with the Bay Area Manufacturers Association. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. BAMA is an industry-focused membership organization serving the manufacturing industry in the Tampa Bay region. We are the official representative of Florida Makes Network in Tampa. Our solutions are designed to help companies address current challenges, create new opportunities for growth, and achieve measurable results. As you know, October was Manufacturing Month, and we've been hosting free virtual events and activities since the beginning of October. We had so many companies to show you that now we're into November. So thanks for staying with us. Our goal is to showcase today's advanced manufacturing technology and high-wage career opportunities. Following the live presentation, all the tours are available on demand on our Manufacturing Month Hub, so you can go back and watch those that you may have missed. Before we begin today, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. If you're having any technical difficulties, please click on the square with the question mark found at the bottom of your screen. My team and I will be interacting with you through the event Q&A box. So why don't we try that out right now? Say good morning and let us know where you're joining us from. Are you with a school or a local company? We also love questions. So throughout today's presentation, please type your questions in the Q&A box. Today, we're visiting TSE Industries. They have been a family-owned operation since their inception in 1962. When Walter and Helen Klingel took their last $2,000 and started Technical Sales Company, they could not imagine what it would become. What started out as a small mom-and-pop plastics distributor has now grown into a global manufacturer and fabricator of polymers and rubber, led by the third generation. And today we're so happy to welcome Babette Ely. She's the human resources recruiter with TSE, and she's been with the company for 21 years. She worked her way up through the ranks, so she is the perfect person to tell you all about working in manufacturing. Welcome, Babette, and why don't we start off by finding out why manufacturing is important to you, and if you could also tell a little bit more about yourself.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. TSE Industries, very close to my heart, being manufacturing. TSE does a lot of product for the food and beverage industry, and packaging and shipping and bottling and canning and medical. And our products are what's helping to put these items on the shelf for us to go shopping. So we're an essential employer. We've been busy all through the COVID pandemic. And we're growing, which is awesome during this time. And having come from manufacturing, I actually worked 10 years for a small manufacturing company up in New England. I understand the whole process. So to come on this side of the table and now recruit for manufacturing, I lean heavily on those 10 years doing manufacturing work myself.
That's wonderful. And I'd like to welcome, we have a few attendees here that have said good morning. So welcome Tiffany from Express Employment in Clearwater, Christina all the way from Jacksonville, and Mario. Good morning, Mario from Career Source. So we're happy to have you joining us today. So let's go ahead and kick it off, and we have a video to show you. So let's go ahead and roll that now. is wonderful. What don't you do? You have such an impressive variety of capabilities and for so many different industries.
Yeah, very lucky
That
to be so diversified. Absolutely.
that is absolutely amazing. So I learned something today too. So I can't wait till I can come and visit you and do it in person. The very, very impressive. You know, you talked a little bit about your career and how you got started, but maybe, you know, for the students out there and someone wanting to pursue a career in manufacturing, can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the industry?
When my career started in manufacturing, I had never done that type of work before. I was very lucky to get in with a very small family owned company that were willing to teach me everything. So I went from knowing absolutely nothing about manufacturing to running welding lasers and brazing on 60-inch saw blades. And it was an amazing experience to learn how to use all the measuring equipment and the blending process. And yeah, so for us here in Florida, we're very lucky to have a program called AM Skills. And that's a 2-week boot camp to give newcomers to manufacturing basic skills on measuring equipment and safety precautions and what it's like to actually work in manufacturing. It's not dark, dirty, and dangerous like everybody's used to think. So much of the process is automated and highly skilled now. So for me myself, having worked in manufacturing, it's definitely given me a fresh perspective on having to recruit now for those types of folks. So we're lucky to employ folks, everyone from entry level all the way up to engineers and chemists here at TSE. It's an amazing ride.
That's wonderful that you started out with having such hands-on experience. So that is exciting because that's the best way to learn. You know, you have to do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
So we had a few more folks say hi to us today. So let's go check the chat box. I'd like to say hi back to Marilyn Barger from Flate. Thank you, Marilyn, for joining us. JP Smith from Aerotech and Bill Kuna from Coast Systems. Welcome, Bill. And Christina says, very amazing on all the capabilities. Sounds like a wonderful organization. We have a question from JP. When hiring, what companies or industries do you look for in the Tampa Bay area?
I'm sorry, say that again?
It says, when hiring, what companies or industries do you look for in the Tampa Bay area?
Oh my, because we do have such a wide variety of types of openings, we work very closely with anyone that's worked for the medical industry, any type of high precision machining. We also work with a lot of the trade schools in the area to find potential candidates. So we're willing to train for some skills, but we're looking for a chemist right now. We kind of need them to know their stuff.
Right. Very important. And I would like to say hi back to Paula DeLuca from Florida Makes. Welcome, Paula. And hi from Cam from Boyd Industries. So welcome to you as well. I have another question for you. Has COVID increased or decreased your business?
We have been lucky. I mentioned before and through the slideshow presentation that TSE manufactures a lot of product for the medical industry, packaging, and food and beverage industries. So we have seen quite an increase in business for those departments. So it definitely levels out. COVID has impacted all of our lives, and we are very happy that TSE is able to put product on the shelf and hopefully make people's lives a little bit easier through all of the craziness. Yeah.
And Babette, since, you know, COVID, how have you changed maybe, you know, the way you do business or working at the facility? What security measures or safety measures have you put in place for your employees?
Wonderful question. Soon as all of this started to happening, the owners of TSE actually wanted us to bring in cleaning services for our facilities. So along with our regular cleaning service, we have a company that comes in and wipes down all of our high touch point areas. They do a lot of sanitation work for us. We have all of our employees wearing masks while they're on site, and we're doing temperature checks each morning as employees arrive for their shifts. So
Oh,
business as usual with some precautions.
wonderful. Good. And I'm glad to hear that you have been able to stay busy and productive during this time. So
Yeah.
that's a very good thing to know. A lot of the industries can't say the same. So those folks that are looking for jobs, it's right here in manufacturing. You just have to come and look. And for some of our students out there, how old do you have any internship programs, or how old would an employee need to be to work there?
All of our employees need to be at least 18 years of age. We have worked with St. Pete College and Pinellas Technical College on internships, apprenticeships here at TSE. We'd love for folks to come in and just kind of see what manufacturing is like in today's world, and that definitely sparks an interest with younger candidates who've never seen the process before.
So what would, when they come in, what is that piece of equipment that they're just going to say, wow, I want to learn how to use that?
I would have to say in our machine shop, we do have some computer numeric controlled routing tables. They were featured in the video. And basically our programmers are setting up the system to make our large gears and sprockets, but it's all computer driven. So that seems to blow people away when they see that.
Okay. And, for a student, what advice would you give them on how to prepare for a career? And I know it would be different for each position, but in general, what can they be doing to position themselves to get a good job in manufacturing?
One of the things I definitely like to bring up would be for the high schools that do have trade programs. It's a great way to see what's involved and kind of get a taste of what that type of manufacturing would entail. I know that the trades are kind of a dying industry, but there's always going to be a need for those types of jobs. So any type of automotive or trade courses, if your high school offers that, I would say look into that. And then also take a look at the technical schools that are in the area. They are very affordable, and a lot of employers, just like TSE, does offer tuition reimbursement and will help them get the education. So trade classes, trade schools, definitely a good way to get your foot into the industry.
Okay. And are there any soft skills that you would recommend, different than, technical training? What soft skills would you want in an employee?
We always say that we can train for the skills, but you can't train the attitude. So we definitely want folks to come in with a positive attitude, willing to learn, ask questions. That's how you grow. We've got employees that have been with us for a very long time. So we always encourage them to seek out their knowledge and be a sponge and soak that up. But just coming in with a great attitude and being on time and being curious, those are great ways to enter the manufacturing industry.
And is the best way to apply applying on the website?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, very easy. So we have some more questions coming in. If someone wanted to get an RFQ, does it need to be high volume?
I would say yes. Depending on what division you're working for within TSE, a lot of our product is going out the door in gallons and pails, and then a lot of it is very precisely measured and dimensioned machine parts. But yeah, we are custom, but we do quite a high volume.
Okay. And does TSE do a lot of contract manufacturing?
We do. We work with a lot of contractors. A lot of our customers are names you've definitely heard of. Can't say them all over the presentation, but we do have our own specialized product as well. Millithane is one of our huge products that we've been making since the early 80s, and we've now become one of the largest providers of millable urethane rubber which goes quite heavily to the sneaker industry. So folks are probably walking around on our cellophane and they don't know it.
So what products would we find at our home that you have had a part in making?
Well, we do a lot for the food and beverage industry. So a lot of things, we go to the grocery store, all kinds of produce product, chicken products, laundry soaps and detergents. We do a lot of the raw materials for those. TSE manufactures a lot of replacement ATM parts. So if you visited an ATM in the area, it was probably some of our little rollers that pushed that money out to you. We do some things, artificial ice skating and hockey rinks now. So those are becoming very popular here in Florida. They're made out of our plastic sheets and they don't need to be groomed and you can skate all year round. So we probably play a bigger role in people's lives than you might think.
That is interesting to know. I will definitely remember that when I'm skating the next time. And the aerospace industry, what could we, what are some different things you make for the aerospace industry?
For the aerospace industry, we do a lot of small precision parts, some things that come out of our machine shop, all kinds of seals and gaskets and things made in our rubber department as well. A lot of those small components that you wouldn't think about, but are very necessary for the industry.
All right, we have some more questions coming in. Does TSE use centralized plan purchasing material review, or does each subsidiary have their own departments for these things?
The answer is kind of yes to both questions. We do have a team in place for purchasing and engineers to kind of figure out what we need to have done, but we basically have a software program that kind of keeps everybody on the same page.
Okay. And what growth do you see? Your company has grown so much since the beginning, so many different divisions, departments. What growth do you see coming up in the future, or changes in technology, something you see coming down the pipeline?
Well, I can tell you that right now we're in the process of getting a second clean room up and running. So that should tell you how busy the medical industry is. And we're always looking to diversify, but to get into relatively stable markets. The Klingel family have been very wise in how they've chosen to diversify TSE. We've always kind of found niches and areas where the growth is definitely going to be there. So we're doing more automated process when it comes to making our chemical product. And we're definitely getting into more innovative thinking when it comes to formula development and things like that. So with our team of engineers and chemists, plastics, rubber, and chemicals are always going to be a part of everybody's life.
And speaking of, medical and the clean room, can you talk a little bit about the importance of a clean room and what the process looks like for someone that is working in a clean room environment?
Yeah. TSE is operating Class 7 clean rooms, so we're FDA certified. The products that we make in our clean room, it's a lot of assembly type work done. So folks are in full suited up gowns with bonnets and gloves and shoe covers and facial hair coverings and things like that. We do a lot of assembly work of centrifuge equipment in our clean room. That is used to spin vaccines for animal and human use. And now we're getting into all kinds of tubing connectors and bottle caps and flasks. And now extrusion of tubing is coming and plastic molding of components. So all of these things are being used in your hospital settings, clinics, emergency rooms, surgery theaters, and things like that. So we're kind of in the background when it comes to treatment processes and hoping to keep people well and healthy. So clean room's going to be expanding and growing, and we're definitely going to be looking to hire some more candidates once we're fully up and running with our second facility.
And how many employees do you have?
Oh gosh, TSE started with Walter and Helen and 6 employees, and I think now we have about 270. So we've grown just a little bit.
Just a little. And how big is the facility?
I think we have about 250,000 square feet of manufacturing space. We keep purchasing properties and doing additions to our facility, so I think that's going to continue to happen. But we started off mom and pop, and here we are with almost a 250,000 square feet of manufacturing space. So that's impressive growth over the years.
Most definitely. And are
Mhm.
you at one campus or are you spread out through the Tampa Bay area?
We have two sites that are about a mile apart. We're located right off of 49th Street and Pinellas, Clearwater area. We have 5 production plants up and running, and that entails all of our clean room activity, chemical blending, and molding and extrusion processes.
Okay, and for it's an employee coming in, say, for entry level, what would they find themselves doing and what would a typical day look like for them?
Most of our entry level positions are in our machine shop and rubber molding departments. That's where they're operating injection molding equipment, basically making some of our small ATM components, visual inspection of their parts, working with our quality control inspectors to make sure that we're making quality product that's up to spec. They would interact with other operators as well as supervisors. Our owners are on site, so they could be coming through the plant as well. It's a great learning experience coming in through that department because it will teach you the basics, how to use measuring equipment and what to look for as far as defects in products and just learning manufacturing from the ground up.
Great. It's very important, you know, and it's great to have that career growth and have so many
Mm-hmm.
different opportunities within the company. Can you talk a little bit about maybe benefits? What are some benefits besides the pay for working there?
We always try to stay competitive when it comes to our benefits package. We do, of course, direct deposit of paychecks. We have an employee assistance program that's available to folks right from day one with us, and that's confidential counseling services. We've really been encouraging employees if they're feeling stressed out during this time of COVID and with all the other things going on. We've been reminding them that's available, and you get 3 free counseling sessions. We have a full medical and dental package too, short-term, long-term disability. We have a 401k retirement plan, tuition reimbursement, all of those things that a lot of your bigger companies offer, but so does TSE.
And the question we always get from the students, the number one question is, what can they make? So what do the salaries look like?
Honestly, for manufacturing, we really don't hire anyone for less than $12 or $13 per hour, and that's our most entry level positions. But when it comes to skilled work, you know, we have machinists and industrial technicians coming in 20 to 25 bucks an hour. But I think for someone new to manufacturing, it's not bad to walk in the door and get 13 bucks an hour. I take it.
Absolutely not. It's a great salary. And really, you know, you can only go up from there.
Yeah.
You know, if you have the right attitude, and it's wonderful to see your company investing, you know, in your employees. So that is so
Yeah.
wonderful to see because employees are an investment. We learned from Dr. Byron Clayton.
Mm.
So let's talk a little bit about what's your favorite part of the job? What do you love to do?
Oh, goodness. For me in recruiting, just meeting new people, telling them all about TSE. I love to tell the story of how Walter and Helen came in with a half a dozen people and $2,000, and that's how the company got started. And then to see that all of the Klingels themselves have actually done work, whether it be in our rubber department, our chemicals, or our clean room. They've all actually done some of the manufacturing work. So they understand the business, they know the ins and outs, and to share all the opportunities that are available. Just because you come in as the receptionist, like I did 21 years ago, you definitely can make your own path and grow with the company. My hope is to retire from TSE.
Well, it sounds like you got in with a fantastic company and have had so far a wonderful career, and I'm sure many more years to come. For those out there, is there anything else you would like to say to the students? Any more words of advice or anything else you'd like to mention before we close out today?
Sure. What I would like for folks to know that manufacturing is a stable industry to come in and work for. These jobs are not going anywhere. I know a lot of production has, fluctuated and up and down, but there's always going to be a need for manufacturing work and the products that we make. So it's an industry that's going to be around. Don't be hesitant to give it a try. There's lots of training available, whether it be through apprenticeships or going through a school program to kind of give you an idea of what manufacturing is all about. And like I said, we've got folks that have been with TSE for 30, 40 plus years, and they started on the floor and worked themselves up into higher positions. So don't discount manufacturing. It's a wonderful industry, and you can have a fantastic career.
Well, thank you so much, Bobette. Thank you for taking the time to show us behind the scenes at TSE. Thank you for being here with us today, and thank you everyone for joining us. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.